Greetings and welcome to this final exam review. Basically, going to go over some of the um, items that you should be prepared for the final exam within crisis intervention. Um, the exam is going to be 50 multiple choice. Basically, what I'm going to go over right now is around 35 of these questions. The test will be 50 questions in multiple choice, true, false, or fill in the blank. So some areas that you should review have to do with the steps of the basic steps of a crisis intervention, and that includes linking, creating a survival story, managing emotions, and facilitate coping. Be able to read a question that describes each of those process and be able to answer it. You need to understand what the Janoff-Bullman, the three principles by which someone reviews their world. Understand that the process of a crisis, basically a lot of these questions are going to come from chapters 4, 6, and 8. So I would definitely review the lectures from chapter 4 and 6 and 8. Understand all of the aspects of a crisis story, how we want to help write a survival story. You need to understand what the idea of journaling is. Review that in the book in chapter 6. You need to understand that what types of things are important to humans, the types of things that are important in a crisis situation, and how do you help a client to retell their crisis story. You need to understand the theme from the textbook, where the theme of the textbook has been to look for the survivor and not the victim. Understand the love technique and what the different, each of those, listening, understanding, and validating, understand what each of those areas, what it takes to work with someone through those areas, and then understand the main areas of the making meaning of the story. Understand the story of Sisyphus from chapter 4 and 6, I believe. Understand the story of Frankel. You also should know, if you're reading a story, a vignette or an example, you should know what the proper response to certain types of crises would be. Understand what reframing is, what catastrophizing is, what reflection is. Review suicide and just understand the basics of suicide. There's some true-false questions about suicide. Review co-creating a survival story. And basically from there, understand what type of goals we set in treatment. The goals, if they're supposed to be measurable. Crisis counseling, if it's what types of crisis counseling that there are. Most of these, a lot of these questions will be repeats from what we've talked about on a previous exam, and some of the questions. So I suggest you go back and review the first two exams. Excuse me, been doing a lot of talking today. Review the first two exams, and understand most of the techniques, for the 6 steps to a crisis intervention process, the 4 stages of making meaning, managing emotions, making contact, and creating a social co-survival story. And I think if you review these things, then you'll be ready for the final. There is a lecture set up for you to ask any questions that you may have, a discussion board. If you have any questions about the exam, you can ask those questions there. I'll be reviewing the exam, the discussion board daily. And basically, you have from this Sunday midnight until the following Sunday. I'm sorry, until the following Friday. to complete your final exam. I may have to adjust that. You may only have until Wednesday of this week because of the final exam schedule. Anyway, look for an email and an announcement that giving you the instructions on when the final exam should be done by. I believe grades are due in by Friday, so you'll need to have your final exams done by Wednesday of this week. So exam will be available from Sunday to Wednesday. Make sure you have it done by Wednesday midnight. If you have any questions, ask them in the discussion board. I'll see you. It's been a pleasure to have you in this course. I hope to see you in future mental health courses here at San Jacinto College.